everyone. I was just watching the 8-minute video on Paris Fashion Week. So this week is everything about Paris Fashion Week. And this one was about Mr. Dries Van Noten, the famous Belgian designer. And it's very inspiring. They made like a fashion show, or at least it's like a museum. It's like an exhibit with live models and mannequins in this beautiful French, I think it's a French building because it's on a French street, Rue de l'Université. See, I think I like talking about fashion, even though I also like to talk about art because, well, I studied a lot of art in school, and obviously Eric is still a very big part of my life. And I really liked writing about art at Sotheby's, but I feel like for art I have to use very big words and like I have to talk about it like an essay, and people have to read it like for 10 minutes, and I have to think very, very carefully, because I have to like make references to, you know, lots of other things. And of course, I also have to talk, carefully about fashion, but I feel it's easier to pick up because um, every season it's something new, and you're selling to like everyday people, and they want to know, kind of mm, how it feels when they wear it and what they can buy right away. And it could be just like a lipstick, or it could be like a really fancy dress. Um, so I really feel comfortable talking about fashion, and like it's just got lots of live people, modern young people wearing. Models are mostly young, um, although a lot of them are also like a little older. So it just it's a little easier for me because I don't feel like I have to think of the biggest word, the biggest vocabulary to talk about it. So like this video was really interesting, and it's for Paris Fashion Week, and it's located at that really pretty French building. See, some designers like to make it really really pop and modern, which I really love. Like, I really liked the Off-White show. But like this one is also different. The designer is really cool. Like, he's a gay guy, but he has like lots to think about. A lot of advice, to give about everything. It's just a lot of these really easy to talk to people in fashion, it feels like. Um, everybody's still like smart, but mm, like it's safe, it's fun, all that stuff. So I feel very comfortable. So for this show, anyways, that house was from hundreds of years ago. I think in like the 1700s or 17th century. I'm not, really sharp with numbers. Um, but he said they decorated it like 100 years ago in the 1920s. I think that's what he said. I watched the video twice, and they said it reminded them of his boyfriend, um, the house they lived in, um, and that it was really perfect because of all the colors, the material, and the wallpaper. something about like being a really good fit. And then they decided to make it not just a show, but like a museum exhibit, with part models and part mannequins. Some of the mannequins were flown in, not flown in, they made them, specially ordered from his hometown or something, so that they could paint the mannequins in the colors of um, the dresses that were being designed. And the aesthetic was like a lot of contrast. They wanted something really strong, but also really crisp, is what they mentioned. A lot of colors, lots of sparklies. Um, it's easy for me to explain this stuff, and most of the people who buy clothes don't don't really need you to speak with bigger words than the words I usually talk, in my normal language. So this is quite comfortable for me. Oh, what else? So they had some like also sparkly jewels that they put around the mannequins, and then they put makeup all over the mannequins. Like he said there are two types of mannequins, and one that looks like a like a human person, but without the brows, but with really big eyes and lips, like really like I don't know, like a baby doll, I guess. Um, and what else? Oh, and some of the hair, that like real hair that they put on the mannequins or something. Um, what else? They picked a couple of models which were suitable. One of them was Casper. Um, Something about Casper, and then oh, so they decorated the whole house. It was kind of dark in certain places, tapestries across some of the walls. They put like random small decorations, like accessories or stuff throughout the house, so it looks like it's really lived in. Um, not to design a house that's too like full of stuff. So don't put mannequins. Don't put the 10 mannequins in one room, so it still feels like you're looking at an open space. Like an open space. Yeah. People don't want to walk into a room and feel it's all messy or too. Messy is okay, but not too busy, I guess. So, to design a house that's comfortable, I guess. Um, and um, oh, and then starting a new. I guess they didn't do makeup before, but now they do. Like, I think almost what, like 1 or 2 dozen lipsticks, different colors. They even designed the lipstick bottles to look really, really pretty. Different colors, patterns, geometric. Um, and then they even like quoted, this one was very like, not different feel from like the show I talked about in my last video, but I like different things at different times. They were like quoting a lot of writers and their favorite filmmakers. What else? Oh, that they thought it's good to put together something really strong. Um, that you think is really hard to go together. And see how it challenges other things, um, like strong contrast or something strong, um, and yeah, yeah, and it makes you think. And I guess the house is just so beautiful. It reminds me of like the house is like when you went to Harvard and the houses where only the boys are allowed in. Um, but it's really fancy inside, or the clubs um, that you'd go to in school that you know most like regular club goers don't know about because it looks like a Bostonian home, and it's really classic, and usually only cooler people get invited, or you have to be a really pretty girl to get invited to those houses that some of them only boys are allowed. Usually it's run by boys, and only pretty girls get invited. Or like the types of parties we went to in school, like with my blocking group, that usually mm, just the regular clubs in Boston, you know it's a different feel because it's like a magnificent house, and you have to know all the right people, and there's a passcode, and you have to say a word to go in, and then the house looks magnificent inside, and everybody at the party's gorgeous, only the most gorgeous people in school, and you know it's it's fun. It's um that was like with my friends from Elliott House, and also like girls nights with Terry, and all my good friends. So it's fun because well, I don't know, I guess my point is this feels easy for me to do, um easier than say, to talk about lots of pieces of art where usually art writers are, well, also well educated, but they don't have to think too long to come up with the right words and lots of paragraphs for a big essay. Whereas for me, it's kind of a problem. Like, I don't mind telling people how the Off-White show went 2 nights ago, and basically, what I talked about on my video about Off-White. It's exactly what Vogue said the next day. So, it's easier for me to do. Whereas if I write like a long essay about art, um, it takes me like a whole week to find out all the stuff about it, and when I talk about it, I feel like I'm preparing for a school exam, which of course my very good friend Eric, who was my uh, you know English and art professor in school. He knows me really, really well, and he taught me so much about art and literature. But I think he knows that it's writing essays is not the easiest thing for me to do. And a lot of people are more talented than me at that. I just really like to read poems and um, you know, some shorter books, and then spend a lot of my time having dinner with my friends every night for 2 hours and playing a little bit of piano. Well, with piano, a lot of my good friends have now become the world's most famous artists, and my teachers are still alive. But I have to think about my own future and what I do well, um, without requiring too much hard work for me. Hard work means it's something that you're not that talented at. But talking about fashion, I don't have to use really big words, and a lot of people can appreciate it. Um, but still, there are people who are really cool and really smart. Some of them are gay, some of them are not. So I feel very comfortable. Um, I feel comfortable. I mean, I'm just making these videos for people who care about me to watch. Mainly just my close family and my good friends, and it's good for them to know what's challenging for me and what's not so challenging for me to do. Um, yeah, I guess that's it. So what happened today? Today's like Wednesday, third day of Fashion Week. I finally went out today. I mean, my dad was like, there are thousands of people with Omicron in Hong Kong, so it's not the right time to move back to New York yet. But I still have to go out sometimes, and I actually suffer a lot. Like before, I didn't buy a lot of tobacco, but now I do because I feel so bad. And, I love fashion, and watching fashion shows sounds like it's every girl's dream. But for me, um, I don't have other hobbies anymore. I can't play the piano anymore because the noises outside are too loud. Um, the noises talking outside are very loud with the, neighbors who we don't identify. Um, and maybe some musicians, you know, because I used to be a professional musician. I'm actually um, fighting with fighting with the musicians. And in fashion, I'm not a designer, and you know only model a little bit sometimes, and I just have a pretty face, but my body is very small, so obviously I'm not going to become like the world's biggest fashion model. I'll just do a couple once in a while, and my parents won't let me wear anything too sexy anyways. Um, and maybe I'll do like jewelry design because it's easy. Um, and I like to talk to lots of different people. So, people who sell the clothes, people who write about the clothes, people who take photos, people who design the clothes. Um, yeah, mainly that's yeah, people who sell it, people who design it, people who um, write or talk about it. It's all easy. It's easy for me to do, I remember details about fashion easily because it's what I love to buy. My parents don't give me much pocket money. They only give me like 3,000 US dollars of pocket money um every month. Even no less than that. Yeah, only 3,000 US dollars of pocket money every month. And I'm taking so many painkillers because my neck hurts all the time. I take over 200 milligrams of Lyrica, and then I take like almost 200 milligrams of this other one that's also a painkiller, and it helps to make me go to bed. And then I hear noises outside all the time, so everybody might think, oh, watching every fashion show you like and doing whatever you want seems like your dream, but it's not really, because I take so many painkillers and I hear so many noises, and my parents always seem to know that I'll be listening to something, but they don't want anyone to hear me. And um I don't have other toys. Well, it's not my toy, right? It's very weak. It's a weak position. I mean, your toy is something that's your hobby, that's not yours, that you can just play with. Um, Whereas something you feel is a part of yourself, and you have no hobbies and you have nothing else, that's not something to really feel like it's a very happy girl. Um, Nothing to mm, feel like nothing to make people think I'm so lucky. Um, What else? So, yeah, okay, so today there was the Kuresh live stream that was 5 p.m. That's 10 a.m. Paris. I didn't know he's the guy who invented the mini skirt in the 60s. I really liked the Courage collection Fall Winter 22 because I guess it's kind of sexy, but it's the kind of sexiness that my parents won't beat me with a stick if I bought their clothes. Because, like, mm, a lot of holes, but neat holes, neat little holes going down on the sides of your body, like neat little squares of a little see through, and it's still a lot of it's form fitting and structured. So if you want to show off your nice body, you can, but you're not showing your nipples or anything. And still it's sexy because they wore a lot of like stiletto heels, stiletto boots. They started with more muted tones, colors, like really structured jackets that still have like a draped design, and then it got sexier and sexier by the end of it. So I really like the Courage collection for this Paris Fashion Week. I know the Row is doing a show. I can't wait to see it when it's available. Watch the Rocha. That was really cool. It made me think of the first show of the day at first, but then it quickly became, I guess, not more sparkly because sparkly is how you view it, but I liked the contrasting colors on the one same outfit. Um, they were really bold and not unusual but joyful. Not some two pieces, some not matching, but still really perfectly coordinated. Like there was this brown but shiny draped top, another one transparent a little bit, and layered chiffon, and then at the bottom there'd be like a big skirt, kind of like my Zadig Voltaire satin navy skirt that's like ruffled and draped all the way down, but it doesn't look like you're going to a stuffy ball in a straight ball gown, because it's very designer. It's got a lot of modern cut. So I like that one. um what else? Yeah, that's all I've looked at. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. Oh, there's another one, the D D do D do. Is it I don't know if she's like a Chinese or if she's an Asian designer. And I tried to find where you could buy them. I think she's like relatively new or something. Um, and she had all Asian models. First it was like in a fantasy woodland setting, and like a lot of kind of feathers on the sides, and like strong colors. The models were very, very thin. Um, a lot of like solid colors or a single piece, but very contrasting pieces. And then some of them were very like, with poof, a little bit streetwear. Some of it was kind of fantasy, like kind of like you're watching a sci-fi. Um, so that was very interesting. Um, then I think in what time is it now? Oh, in 15 minutes it's gonna be Cecile Bonson, and that's a live stream. So that's about it. Probably I can make it to the Acne Studios show that's at 1 a.m. where I am right now. I don't know if I'll be awake by the Baomang show at 3:30 a.m. my time, 8:30 Paris. 'Cause like I mentioned already, the way they were presented by Vogue, um, I think last season or two seasons ago, it's exactly what I would love to wear to a party. A lot of sparklies, gold, but still looking very neat but sexy, and then there's something transparent, or it's like, just gold or silver threads um, that make you see through part of the body, and so you can see the body shape, but I won't show my nipples because my parents would kill me. But it still looks very elegant, classy. Um, it's like with the pair of like Rene Tauvia sparkly heels. It's kind of just a lot of sheer, a little bit of sequins, a lot of tulle, but it's still, or something really mm, metallic, but it's not weird. It's still really, really feminine. It looks extremely expensive. The only problem being that it's just too expensive for me. Like, my parents don't give me any pocket money because they're very worried about me. They don't know what I'll do with it right now. I can't afford to buy a lot of things. Um, like I said, I'm taking so many painkillers and I'm trying to go on a diet right now, but I'm already taking so many pills. I take like 7 or 8 pills every day. A lot of people who take the pills I take actually gain weight. It's supposed to be one of the side effects. A lot of people get dry skin from the side effects of the pills that I have to take. That's why I have to use like 8 or 10 skin products every night to keep this quality of skin. And I'm already 41 years old, and I haven't dated a boyfriend for more than 10 years. And a lot of my closest friends who love me live back in the United States, and so I don't have much support where I'm located right now, which is Hong Kong, where my parents do only some of, but not all of, their business, where they just feel it's safe to keep me right now, even though they know I'm happier back in the States in the long run. So, I wouldn't say like I'm a baby with lots of toys to play with, and maybe I'm a little too happy because obviously, given my situation and all so many things I've lost through the pandemic, and so many of my loved ones, my parents, my teachers, my best friends have all suffered pain related to the horrors of that pandemic. Um, that I don't think I'm a happy girl with a lot of toys. I have no toys in my house. I only live in my home. I don't have toys to play outside. I don't have any toys to play outside of my home. um my life is very controlled, very, very painful. um I showed all the names of the pills I take on the schedule I posted on Instagram last week. It's all real. My doctors all exist. I really take all these pills. I really lost all these hobbies. It's true that all these close friends of mine have become infuriated by all of the lies and all of the um, uh, misrepresentations that have occurred um, due to the pandemic. So I wouldn't say I'm lucky at all, but I guess I'm feeling comfortable, and well, I'm comfortable talking anyways, but I feel especially comfortable talking about fashion because for some reason, it seems easier for me to talk about it with less preparation time, um, than to talk about one painting, which might sell for $1 million, or it might sell for $10,000. Whatever it is, uh, it takes me a lot of hard work to do. Um, so okay. I've been talking for more than half an hour now, but um, I mean, when I call home and I talk to my mom, like I feel I can only talk about silly things, but I think they want to know me better. Otherwise, how can they make sure I'm happy after the pandemic? Um, so so that's why I talk on the videos. Um, so they can make sure I'm doing something happy that makes me happy, and that I'm where I'm safe. Of course, this morning I watched the Saint Laurent show from last night, and it was really good. Um, it made me, of course, think of Saint Laurent, and I wrote about it a tiny bit when I shared the show on Facebook. So I won't repeat myself, but hmm. Yeah, so I really like no makeup today. Like none, look, none. Woo. I should put on a little more makeup when I do these videos, but whew, yeah, a little. It's not a pimple, but it's something like a red mark, which is a problem because I'm starting my Medicate. Medicate, it's supposed to be the big one. It's the big one. This is supposed to be the strongest one for anti wrinkles. Medicate, strongest, intense. This one, strongest for wrinkles, to wrinkle prevention. The strongest one of this brand. I bought their crystal number 6, medium intensity last month, but then um I guess Vogue Paris said this is their biggest, this is their strongest one, and I'm really really scared to get wrinkles just because what if I don't look pretty by the time I get to see my friends again? So this one is extremely expensive. It's hundreds of euros, but I thought it's worth trying. So this is what I'm going to try tonight. Um, um, yeah, yeah. So that's it. I'm still trying to I don't know. Some days I'm tired and so I don't need so many pills to fall asleep. Some days I'm not tired, I need more pills. So I have to kind of figure out what's the best amount of pills to take. I have a lot of doctors supporting me because I have so many problems. The pills for the neck, the pills for my sleep, the pills because I guess they said some of the doctor, well, my parents say that there are no neighbors talking outside my house and that the voices I hear are the voices in my head. So I take pills for the voices in my head, but I'm pretty sure there are people talking outside. Um, but yeah, I'm just wearing like I'm losing weight, even without much exercise. I just don't want to lose too quickly because if you lose weight quickly, but you're past 40 years old, what if your skin gets loose? Um, and it won't look very pretty. I feel like if you stay thin, but you don't get fat and thin and fat and thin, and you don't have a kid, or you get a test tube to make the kid, then even by your 50s you could still look really really hot, and I'm Asian and I control myself and I like to look pretty because the point is not to be super pretty now. I want to be really pretty when I'm able to go out to see some friends. Maybe not a lot of people with the pandemic, but I can wear a Balmain. I could wear a Dior gown. My parents might not let it be too sexy, but the time to be prettiest is when there are real people in my apartment. Um, so I'm scared that I won't be pretty by then, because of all the pills that I'm taking now. Um, so yeah. Oh, last night I watched the Glossier presentation. I'm now following the business of fashion, which people say have the most accurate information about the companies rather than say on the Wall Street Journal. I don't know, but I guess I'm not really on the finance numbers side anymore. I just have lots of friends who are really, really uh, big famous investors, but I also have a lot of friends who are famous artists, famous writers, and there's Eric and my teachers and um all these different people and doctors, famous doctors, everything. So just my friends, but for me, I'm not really doing that number stuff anymore. But I shared on YouTube my Chinese lessons because Business of Fashion was so nice to send um, an article about fashion ambassadors. They call it influencers, and that's pretty much what I am right now. So it's very helpful of them. So I shared today on YouTube my Chinese lessons because my Chinese teacher, who I've talked about many times, and I kept the same one I started with, Yuan Xian. We picked some Chinese articles from the Chinese Wall Street Journal, and they were really accurate about China. They're written by Chinese people in China about influencers and ambassadors in China and all the fraud and all the details going on. And we had a good discussion about it in Chinese. And I don't want to live in China, but I just wanted to practice my Chinese. But those are two really useful videos on my YouTube channel to watch if you want to understand how influencers in China um, work. And I guess that's how a lot of things get sold in China nowadays. My Chinese isn't great. My mother taught me. My mother speaks Cantonese, which is like a dying language, which is only what people talk here. The main Chinese language is Mandarin. I learned Mandarin properly in school in the United States, and I speak it and think of Mandarin like speaking English because every Chinese Mandarin word has only four sounds, and every Chinese word has an English spelling. So I just speak Mandarin slowly and I think about it like I'm speaking English words. So I have no problem speaking the Chinese Mandarin. I just never learned how to speak Cantonese properly because my mom is, just talking silly and she's not very educated. So, which is, yeah, I guess I'm just talking about all the things important to uh, me, which is important to my friends and family, um, to know for after the pandemic is a little less crazy, you know. I mean, I guess I partied enough um, before before my accident, um, and I have so many close friends, and I've you know done a lot of fun things already, but you know. Mm, it would be nice at least sometimes to invite people to my house, you know, for a small party sometimes, or go to a small fashion show and talk to, random people about stuff. eventually I want to find a boyfriend, but I've talked about that many times. The kind of guy I'm looking for, I haven't found one yet. You want a guy who really loves you, who's not so. He might be very successful and strong at work, but when he's with you, you want the guy to really think of you as his little princess. And if there's something he does that you don't like, um, or there's something about him you don't like, he's willing to uh, change it. Um, so we haven't found the right boy for me yet. We just haven't. It's very, very far, far, far away. A lot of boys out there are just so far. It's so far away from the acceptable standards. Um, you know, and I know I'm just a fashion ambassador and a little model, like a mini doll, and I don't know much anymore. But the guy should be fine with a girl who's strong and has opinions and is really, really smart. Because what if 20 years later, maybe I become successful and then he won't be fine with it again, you know? Um, so I want someone who's fine with the way you are, like the way you are. I've dated people who knew how smart I was, knew how quickly I learned things. And you can see it all in the records. Like I learned computer programming languages pretty quickly. Um, pretty sure there's no question about my intelligence. So, um, you know, you want somebody very different from what it is. You shouldn't, or you hang around or you talk about people that my friends and I really, really don't like. And it's not right. Mm, I mean, it's not right, but it's still right. It's not yet, you know. So mm, until then, you just sort of go on Facebook and talk, and you try to show off. So maybe you will find somebody uh to 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 be with. You show off as much as possible on Facebook, and you try to make as many new friends as possible, and you help your boss, or you help your for me, I help my parents find new business, and new places to talk to. So you know it seems like that's what it is. So okay, I've been talking for like almost 45 minutes now, but if I don't talk now, then my friends and family don't know what's on my mind. um well, I'm sure they can figure out what's on my mind, but they should know how I can, how I can present these things to other people, um, and how I like to deal with things, because it helps my parents make decisions about my future. I don't want to do something that's not right. Oh, the video stopped by itself. Yeah, I don't want to do something. I don't want my parents to think I'm good for something that's not good for me. Then that won't be good for them either. So I should be doing what I'm good at. I guess I mean I'm very small. Most models are at least like 6 feet tall, and for me I'm just like 5'2". It's just tiny, but I just happen to have a very hourglass body. I don't know why. Even a little bit fat or thin, still the same. It's kind of special. I don't know. But they don't like me to dress rudely. So and I am nice to people. Many people like me. I'm not really that sharp with numbers, um, and I'm not really a nerd. So, um, and they need to know this because after they die, I only have my sister. So everybody should know what I am before they die. Everybody should know what I am before they die. Because I'll never find out what happened. Um, so I need to be put in the right spot for myself, and I like to talk to all kinds of people about all kinds of things, but some things are more difficult for me to do than other things. But definitely talking and opening up about things I like, it's not very difficult for me, you know. I mean, there are lots of recordings of me mm, presenting as a banker. That's years ago, and that stuff was pretty hard for me, but I still, you know, I did really well, but it takes too long to do it because I'm not that smart. If you have to do what you're smart, everybody's smart, but smart at different things. So I should find things to do that easy for me. Not easy for other people, but easy for me. Um, you know. I mean, I guess I can still look really pretty for another, I'm guessing 20 years? Because I have an oily face. An oily face means you don't get wrinkles, and if I don't have a baby out of my own tummy, then I can just stay, very pretty. That would, when lots of makeup, it looks very nice. Or I could, and talk about things easily and make lots of friends. But that's what it is. Anyways, oh, it's what time? It's Ceci Bonson live. I'm gonna go watch it now. Okay.